What is up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how Mike could have lost his business after an employee fell off a ladder. He's going to be going through the whole story. Obviously, I'm joined with him now. Mike, how's it going, man?
It's going well, Justin. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for coming back on the channel. You've told me this story, but I think it's super valuable for others to hear it as well for a couple different reasons. Firstly, from a training perspective, how employees are trained on safety, the precautions that you took after this happened, as well as how business owners can be proactive and take proper steps to protect their business. Because as you're going to go into here in just a second, things got a little rocky for a second, or they could have had you not taken the right steps. So, Mike, tell us a little bit about the situation. What happened with this employee?
Right. So this was probably about 12 or 13 years ago, and I had a great employee, and he did a great job. Right. He was meticulous in his job. Always went above and beyond for the customer. Really, just tried to exceed all expectations, and took great pride in his work. And that's something that is, it's not always easy to find when you're hiring folks. He was out on a job, and we live in Savannah, and we've got a beach that's about 20 miles away. It's called Tybee Island, and out of Tybee, a lot of the homes are built up on stilts. So basically, your first floor is actually a second story. There's parking or storage underneath, and so in order to get into the house, you have to walk up a set of stairs to the front door. And so your front door, like I said, is on the second story. Well, he had completed the house wash. He got everything taken care of. He was down on the ground, and he was taking a look around, and he saw that he had missed a spot way up high. So basically, this would be like a third story. And he had not put all of his stuff up yet. So he got his hose, he got a ladder off the truck, and went up the stairs and put that ladder on the decking right outside of the front door. Now, keep in mind that I just said that he had just completed the house wash. So, we applied the SH, we rinsed the SH, and he is now putting a ladder on a pretty slick deck, painted deck, and is propped up against the top of the roof so he can climb up and get that last little spot that he had missed. And so he's going on up, and about halfway up the ladder, it was a 24-foot ladder, about halfway up, the feet of the ladder became unstable, slipping on the painted deck, and it came out from under him, and he came down with the ladder, and unfortunately, somehow he landed on his head. And it was a bad scenario. The customer, thank God, was home and immediately called 911. An ambulance came immediately. The customer had my contact information, and they called me immediately. So, I'm sitting there and just dumbfounded that something like this has happened, unbelievably worried and concerned for my employee. So I rushed to the hospital, and his wife had already arrived, and she was actually a nurse. So she was kind of in tune with everything that was going on. And the doctor had come out, and they were actually taking him in to do a small procedure to eliminate some pressure from his head from the impact. And fortunately, and thank God more than anything, he had a full recovery, and he's fine now. But at that point, we didn't know what was going to go on, and so it was a really scary scenario, and something that has not happened again. And thank God for that.
So, Mike, from a legal perspective, though, could they have filed a suit on you? Because, technically, as a business owner, you're responsible for training them. And how were you able to protect yourself? Because you could have lost your business in this scenario, right?
Oh, without a doubt. That's it 100% could have happened. And again, that goes back to why we have insurance. That's why we, incorporate or form LLCs, and that's just to protect your business from a legal perspective. But like I said, in this scenario, there was no legal action because, he had a full recovery. He was a long-term employee. We had a good relationship. They had good insurance. So it wasn't going to be a monumental burden from a financial point of view for them. Something like this could be devastating to a business, and that is why you definitely need to have multiple things in place. Obviously, I'd mentioned briefly an LLC or any kind of incorporation type deal, S corp, C corp, and these are things that you should go over with an accountant, somebody smarter than me, to guide you in the right direction. You should have an employee handbook that has got all of your training, all of your standard operating procedures, things of that nature, which you go through with your employees upon hiring. They have to go through, they have to learn everything, they have to acknowledge this, they have to sign this, and that is a legally, binding document. And should they do something that is outside of your standard operating procedure, that is when, an attorney would probably say something to the effect of, well, in this signed document where, it's stated, and I don't think he did anything wrong in this scenario. I think it was unfortunate and it was just bad luck. But if an employee did something outside of the standard operating procedure and something happened because of that negligence, then it's not on the business owner, because we did everything we can, right? We trained them, we gave them the written documents, and there's ongoing training that happens as well. And so when you do all of those things, that helps to limit your exposure from a legal standpoint when something, or if something bad does happen.
So essentially, the employee handbook is basically a signed copy of all the expectations, all the training, and it basically shows that they consented to everything that they had learned. So when did you implement this employee handbook into your business?
I've had the employee handbook almost as long as we've been operating. I always knew the importance of it from a training standpoint, B, a liability protection standpoint. And, we've always had them. So every employee that we've ever had has had some form of an employee handbook, and it has evolved over the years. It's gotten much better. I've had my attorney go in and really, fine tune things. So it's a great document as far as, protecting my business from any kind of legal issues. But it also helps with training. There's a lot more to it than just, these are the safety rules. These are the regulations. The employee handbook that we have, like I said, it's an educational tool. It helps to train. It's all about, employee expectations. It's our workplace policies, everything from seatbelts to, keeping the truck clean. And it's about a culture thing too, right? We've got a culture in our company, and probably most of the guys that are out there watching, they want to develop a culture. But, we talk about safety, we talk about compensation, the benefits and the perks, and a ton of other things that are in that are great as far as setting expectations from day one for employees, and then following up and training throughout their entire time, with your company. So you're always engaging with them, you're always teaching, you're always training, and you're always reinforcing safety, because there's nothing that we do on any job out there that is worth getting hurt.
So if you guys are thinking about hiring on some employees, or if you have some employees and you don't have an employee handbook in place, check out the first link in the comment section and the description. You guys will be able to pick up Mike's employee handbook that he's been refining over a number of years, and I think it'll be a valuable asset to your business. Mike, last question for you before I let you go. Has anything changed with regards to training, ladder safety, to prevent this in the future? Or, I mean, you kind of mentioned it was kind of a fluke mistake, but have you done anything differently with regards to training because of this?
We put a much larger emphasis on safety training, ladder training specifically. And, that's one of the largest workplace accidents in the United States is ladder falls and falls from ladders, injuries like that. So it's something, and in this business, we are using ladders, a lot. So everybody out there watching, just be safe out there. Don't do anything stupid. Like I said, there's nothing worth getting hurt over. There's no amount of money. So that's what I'll leave you with on this, I think.
Excellent, Mike. Every guest that comes onto the channel gets to pick the word of the day. What would you like the word of the day to be?
Let's go with safety first.
Safety first. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below safety first, and I'll hashtag you a real one. If you guys haven't checked out Mike's channel already, check it out. Leave us a like on the video, and until next time, hustle hard and get that money, baby. Peace.